Yeah, Eric, can you ask him if it's okay to videotape him coming in?
Include videotape and coming in and doing a little videotape, is that okay?
Sure.
All right, okay. Ready?
Yep.
Let's start it up.
Where can I sit down?
Put it on the bed.
Thanks. I need someone to pay for this actually. 27 off this.
You put it on charge?
Not to this room. This room is cash room only.
Pay the man, stop being so cheap.
I'm trying to get my money out.
Pay the
goddammit.
man.
Listen, I'm trying to get my money out.
Pay him.
Stop yelling at me.
You already ripped me off enough.
Stop it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, you gotta take it back. You need to see.
Yeah, give me receipts.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You give the guy $10 tip. You give him a tip?
Definitely.
What a way to start it out.
What a way to start a shoot interview. Welcome to another edition of the RF Video Shoot Interview Series, where it's a pleasure to have none other than the madman from the Sudan, man that's been in the wrestling business, dominated the wrestling business with his style for the last 34 to 36 years. Abdullah the Butcher, welcome. Let's get right into it. The first question that we ask all our guests is how you actually started and broke into the wrestling business.
Well, I started into the business because number one, I was hungry. And I needed a job.
Yeah.
And I used to teach karate and judo and stuff. And I carried a 7th degree black. And a long time ago, I was working for Vic Tanny's. I was doing karate for them. And there was a man by the name of Jack Britton. He's the one who broke me into the business. It was Jack Britton and Gino Brito. They broke me into it.
Wow.
And I've been going ever since.
Wow. Was it hard, the training, when you started training to get
It was
into
real hard.
Yeah.
It was real hard.
Yeah. Wow. How long did you have to train before you had your first match?
About maybe 3 months.
3 months.
Because they said that I was a natural.
Wow.
You know.
How quick, or was it immediately that you developed your style, which was, it seems, way ahead of your time? Everything right now is everybody wants to be hardcore, tries to be hardcore, but you were hardcore before there was even a hardcore. How'd you come up with that style?
Well, there's only one Abdullah the Butcher. And a lot of things that the guys are doing today, they copied from me.
Right.
And there was another man who started it mostly, was the Sheik. And then when I got into it, they said that I was better than the Sheik.
Hmm.
Understand? So, but it was, the people used to, when they first seen me wrestle, the promoter jumped up and said, let's call him Abdullah. This happened in Vancouver.
Okay.
And then they said, let's call him Abdullah the Butcher. Because I was using forks, I was using this, and I was using that. They says, let's call him the Butcher.
Wow.
See what I mean?
Yeah, so that's how you came up with that.
See, but before then, my name was Zealous Amera.
Wow. Wow. When was your first Japanese tour, and what were your initial impressions of the wrestling in Japan itself?
Well, when I went to Japan, when the first time they seen me, I was different. And they kept using me, and the fans loved me. Because they've never seen nothing like me.
Right.
So,
Oh.
that's the way it goes.
What were your initial impressions of Japan when you first went?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah. Wow. When did you get your first major exposure in the United States?
Oh, shit. I was at least 64, 65.
Wow.
Because I was on a plane that was hijacked to Cuba.
Really?
You know, this is a long time ago. I was on the Eastern Airline. They had a big snowstorm in New York, and I left from Montreal, flew to New York. Then from New York, I flew to Puerto Rico. Then when I was supposed to come back to Montreal, I was supposed to go from from Puerto Rico to New York, then Montreal.
All right.
Then they had a big snowstorm. So then something else came up, so I had to try to get back. So I said, let me take a plane to Miami.
Right.
And then come into into Puerto Rico. That's when the plane was hijacked.
Wow. You basically, throughout your career, you worked for just about every single territory that there ever has and will be. What were some of your favorites and least favorites, and maybe why?
Well, every place where I went, like I loved all of them because I was a main event. I drew people. It was always bloody matches, a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
You know, so that was it.
Wow. Was there a particular booker that you preferred working for rather than not, or promoter?
Well, a lot of promoters who I worked for was Jim Barnett.
Okay.
I was in Sydney, Australia, New Zealand, Auckland, Perth, and of all the promoters, I didn't trust none of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they'd tell you one thing, then it would be something different.
Yeah.
You know? So that was it.
Wow. It seemed that whenever you would come to a territory, maybe more so later in your career, you would come in for one or two like big matches. They bring you as a mystery partner, or and then out for a little while. Why was that? Was it just the way that they wanted to use you, or
Because of my style. Like if I stayed there, and the people kept seeing me, like my style, like what I was doing, beating on people, getting them excited and stuff like this, that the promoter says, if we bring him in here and keep him here, when he leaves, the territory would, go down. You see?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Wow. It seemed just from us anyway, from our collection of tapes, we've never seen any of your work in
Tapes? What do you mean tapes?
Wrestling tapes. Our own personal collection, that is, not for resale.
Oh, okay then. Go ahead.
We have never personally seen you on our own videotapes on any of the Memphis or the Mid-South, the Memphis, the USWA area. Have you ever worked for the USWA Memphis area?
Well, like I've been all through this area.
Okay.
Like a long time ago, like when Pedro Martinez used to have it.
All right.
You see, and that was it.
Wow. Did you ever work for the USWA while under the Jerry Lawler running it, or?
Yes.
Yeah, you did?
Yes.
Wow. How was that? How did that go?
I went in for Jerry Lawler, and they asked me to do something, and I told them no.
Yeah.
I picked up my bags to leave, and he said, "Just a minute." So we worked something out.
Okay. You were also one of the early, I guess, quote unquote hardcore territories was Southwest Championship Wrestling. It even got some national exposure on the USA Cable Network right before WWF went national, and you worked Southwest a lot.
Yes.
What are your memories of working for Southwest Championship Wrestling?
There was a lot of good matches. I wrestled a lot of good guys, big boys, small guys, but they were good.
Yeah.
See, so.
Yeah. What about the Florida territory? That was always a real hotbed of wrestling.
Well, the Florida territory was a good territory when they had like Eddie Graham, but it was the same thing. They'd bring me in, to get the people in,
Right.
and then I'd go out again.
Right.
See, then when the territory would go down, they'd bring me in again.
And it would always jack back up.
Right.
Yeah. And world class too. It seemed like you were there like more than any world class coming in for this match, that match. What are your memories of working for world class?
You mean for the Von Erichs?
Yes.
Well, I'd go in there to maybe for the TV exposure.
Yeah.
It was on cable TV and it was going all over, so I'd just go in there and make a lot of TV tapes for them.
Right.
And then if the TV people wanted me in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the territory, I didn't care too much for it.
No.
Because Bruiser Brody was there. I liked to wrestle him. The Von Erichs, they were so-so, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then you had Killer Brooks and all these other guys. The Funks were in there at the time, and
Yeah.
that was it.
What was Fritz Von Erich like? Because it seemed like that he had his promotion peaking, even when you were in there and you were feuding with Bruiser Brody. But then all of a sudden, he just seemed to drop overnight, his promotion anyway.
In which way you, I don't follow.
As far as national exposure, as far as, world class seemed to be a real hotbed. as far as like an up and coming, territory. And then all of a sudden, it just seemed that little by little, it just started
going down.
Yeah.
Well, you got to realize something. Like a long time ago, when they had the cable TV, like in the 50s, right? So the wrestling business, it goes to a peak.
Right.
And when it goes to a peak, it's got to come down.
Right.
And then when it comes down, it dies for maybe 10 years or 15 years. Then all of a sudden, it explodes again.
Right.
You see, and that's what's going to happen with, like with all the other TVs. The cable TVs. Right now, it's real hot, but it's just a matter of time that it's going to fade out again.
Right.
And then all the little small territories are going to come back again.
Really, you think the small territories will come back again?
Come back.
Wow. You think it's hard in the wrestling business without all these territories to get young talent for the big territories?
Well, when they had like the small territories, you could go into Chicago, wrestle in Chicago, because they never had cable TV. You could stay there for a year or 2 years.
Right.
Then you could move on to maybe Calgary, Alberta, Saskatoon, or Vancouver, or if you went into New York, nobody knew you were in New York.
Right.
You see what I mean? But now, since they got cable, they know where everybody's at.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So.
Understand. One place that we've never seen you is the World Wrestling Federation. Maybe back in the WWF, I don't know, but as far as the World Wrestling Federation, we've never seen you there. And for a guy that's been everywhere, the question has to stick out as to why, of all places, Abdullah the Butcher has not been in the World Wrestling Federation.
WWF, you're talking about?
Yes.
Well, they take me for, like an outlaw. A lot of people don't want me in New York because of my style. They figure that I overpower them,
Right.
And they say, oh, he's a gimmick man, he's this, and I would love to go in there before I retire, before I get out, before whatever. But the main part about it is that there's too many people who knock me.
Really?
You know what I mean? We don't want to build a butcher in here because, they fear me.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Is it more or less the guys over there on top that you come in and take their spot, or just
That's
to
it.
fear wrestling?
That's it.
Yeah, take
That's
their
what
spot.
it is,
Yeah.
Because every time I went into a territory, if the territory was down, I would go in there and bring it up.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And the guys, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, he's using the fork, he's using chairs, he's using this, he's using that.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of hard to follow me,
Mhm.
after I get finished with a match.
Right. It seems like from what you're saying here, you were a solution back in those days. That if a territory was going in, bring it. If that was going down, bring it Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want no check. This is cash, right?
This is cash.
Go ahead.
Do you feel spending a majority of your career in Japan? Do you feel the competition is different in Japan than it is in the United States, and why?
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
You've got guys who fear you over there. It's like a lot of the American boys went over there. A lot of the guys from England, whatever, went over there. When they see you wrestle, they say, "Damn, we can't follow this."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's every territory is the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I remember like Hogan, like when he first started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan was a good guy. You know what I mean? People say, "Oh, we like Hogan because he wasn't a top man."
Right.
As soon as he got to be a top man, everybody, oh, he's no good.
Yeah.
Why he's no good? Because he's a top man.
All right.
You see what I mean? And that's it.
Right. Back in the older days, maybe even when you were breaking in, were a lot of the veterans at that time helpful to you? They give you a lot of no.
Nobody helped me.
Really.
I did everything on my own.
Really.
Everything.
Wow. Are you a little bitter for that, or do you take pride in that?
No, I take pride in it.
Yeah.
Because I take pride in it because nobody gave me nothing.
Yeah.
I worked it, and I got it where people say Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even like the younger generation in Japan and even like in the United States, I can walk down the street, it's Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Because the mothers and fathers tell them about me.
The legend of Abdullah the Butcher. Right. A lot has been said, good, bad, and otherwise, about Antonio Inoki, a guy that's had tremendous power at tremendous times, and you worked for Antonio Inoki in New Japan
I
Wrestling.
worked for all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Antonio Inoki specifically, any opinions of working for Antonio Inoki, what he's like to...
He's a gentleman. He's a good man,
Yeah.
and well, he's a professional, and uh, it's like anything else. He was up top for many years,
Yeah.
but everybody gets to the point where they think that I can do it all by myself.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And he went into politician. He started being a politician and stuff like that, and all of a sudden he started coming down.
Yeah.
But for many years, he was drawing thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah. Do you think it hurts in Japan when since when somebody says they're going to retire over there, it's taken a lot more seriously than when a wrestler goes on TV in the United States say they're going to retire. Do you think it hurts when guys like Onita and Inoki, when they say they're going to retire and they have the big retirement match and then they come back a couple years later?
Well, you got to put it this way. Life is what? A gimmick.
Right.
To draw money is what?
Gimmick.
A gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if somebody jumps up and says, I'm going to retire, they might jump up and say, okay, I'm going to retire. Maybe 2 years later, 3 years later,
Yeah.
they're what? They're back drawing more people.
Yeah.
See?
I might be wrong, but from what I understand, as far as your Japanese career, you originally started with All Japan, went to New Japan, and then went to All Japan. Am I
Right.
correct? Why? It seems in Japan anyway. Back in the earlier days, people didn't jump. You stayed, where you were. And why did you jump so often?
Because number one, I worked my ass off. When I went to Japan, it was just me who was the top man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now today they have 10 guys who are on top. I done it all. I done everything to draw people. I used to go in my room, think of different things, how to draw people, right? And they didn't give me the credit for that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and Baba was together for many, many years. And when they tried to shaft Baba, you understand what I mean? When they tried to shaft him, well, there's a lot of things I can't mention about this.
Sure.
But when they tried to, shaft him, I was in his corner. When he started his new company, you understand? Because him and Inoki was together.
Right.
When they started their new company, I went with Baba. And I told the TV people, they asked me, if Baba starts his company, would you stay with Baba? I said, yes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was it. So when people don't give you what you really deserve, you're supposed to do what?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You got to run. You see.
Absolutely.
But everybody was skipping in Japan.
Okay.
Because when they had the two groups, I mean, you had other guys switching,
Okay.
and Baba would bring them back. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the same thing with me. When I switched and I told these people, you know what I mean, this man's going to give me this here, blah, 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 stuff like that. So they knew I was leaving.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
So they didn't come up to me and say, well, okay, we'll do this for you. You understand? But they didn't do it. So when I switched, you understand what I mean? Then when his territory, like when he bought in all these other guys from Inoki's office, Tiger Singh and all these guys, when they bought him in,
Yeah.
and then maybe a year it went good,
Yeah.
and when it started dropping, they called two people back. The King, Abdullah the Butcher, the King, Bruiser Brody, and we bought it up.
Right. Absolutely. If you can't talk about it on camera, that's fine. But why did you choose Baba over Inoki at that time?
Well, Baba was a gentleman. He was legit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But things change.
Yeah.
Things change.
All right.
And I classify Baba and his wife as a good friend.
Okay.
See what I mean? So,
Yeah. Why? So why did you leave All Japan the last time, the very last time?
well, I was with Baba for many years, and I asked Baba, I said, when am I coming back? He said to me, talk to Mr. Enon. I said, talk to who? For many years, I've never talked to nobody. Now you're telling me to,
Right.
call for a booking?
Right.
I just looked at him, I said some words to him, and I walked away. But I did not switch because I went to Japan to make commercials.
Okay.
And Baba thought, because I was talking to little Victor,
Okay.
he thought that I was getting ready to switch, that I switched.
Oh, okay.
And then it came in the paper.
Yeah.
Abdullah the Butcher is going with such and such. But I did not go with those people.
All right.
Then when I read the paper, I said, "Well, you should not go with the other company." And someone with Tokyo Pearl.
All right.
That was it.
Why? That was a question I had later on, but since you brought it up, FMW it seemed to really peak in the early '90s as the hardcore style over there. They brought the no rope barbed wire matches in and everything, all the gimmicks and the blood. It seemed perfect for Abdullah the Butcher versus
They
Onito.
fear me.
That's why.
Same thing.
Yeah.
They don't want me. A lot of people, oh, you bringing Abdullah, he's going to do this. He's going to, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the same thing with the night, like with the show with the night.
Yes.
When I went out there and done my stuff, boom, 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 these guys come out with tin cans and fractures and stuff like that. And they couldn't follow.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So
So you think it was more or less Onita since he was the top guy himself, and he would more or less be wrestling you if you went there.
well, if I wrestled Onita, we could draw big money.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it goes back to the same thing. They say we got to watch Abdullah. You know what I mean? That's the key.
Yeah. It's a shame because there's three guys here that would have loved to have seen that match. But anyway, do you feel your match? Maybe, and I don't even know if you recall it, but it was a classic, and we do, and many of our fans and customers do. The 1977 tag final with you and the Sheik against the Funks. It's considered by a lot as one of the greatest matches of
They
all
were
time.
great. They were great matches. The Sheik was a great worker. He had a lot of good ideas. You know what I mean? I had a lot of good ideas. And I used to watch him a lot.
Yeah.
And but I overpowered him.
All right.
You see what I mean? You know, because the people said that I done it better.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Nobody ever ate raw chicken. Nobody ever ate raw liver. Nobody ever ate glass. Nobody ever ate paper. Nobody ever ate. See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like today, all these guys now who are using the forks, they never used it. It was only guys like the who used the boards and other stuff was Bruiser Brody, myself, and what's his name, King Curtis, Archaea.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy, he was from Canada, but he used to go on, woo,
Joe LeDuc?
woo. No, not Joe LeDuc. What's his name? Group Bernard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Guys like this.
Yeah. What were some of your greatest matches?
My greatest matches were with Carlos Colon, Terry Funk, Bruiser Brody, the Sheik, Dean Kaniski, Luthez, Dalio Jonathan, Tollus Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, I can keep going on and on.
I bet. 36 years.
I wrestled everybody.
Yeah.
And
Was
every guy who I wrestled, they respect me. And every promoter, when they seen the houses packed, they said, "Oh, but if I would have known what I know today."
Yeah. As far as All Japan goes, a little bit there. It seemed the later years that you were there, they didn't let you use the forks and things like that.
Where?
The last couple times that you were there, no.
Where?
All Japan.
All Japan. Like they,
Oh, because the people there, the wrestlers there,
Yeah.
they didn't want it.
Yeah.
They talked to to the big man. Hey, he's coming back. Blah blah blah. Don't let him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That was it.
Wow. I guess I have some names. I'll just just give me an opinion on them, whether it's one sentence or however
Another guy who was a hell of a performer. He was a Jewish boy. That was Mark Lewin.
Oh yeah.
Mark Lewin. We had many good battles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in the States, but in
why?
in Hawaii and what's that place? Singapore, over in Australia, Auckland, Perth.
Wow. Just some names, you know.
Luther was a Jewish boy.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry Funk, you know, he's still going at it, and you know,
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Yeah.
And he still gets it on. He's doing more things now, diving off the top ropes, doing flips, doing this here, and the guy's up there. But I give him power. I give him credit.
Do you think he'd still be around as long as he has?
Terry ain't going no place.
Terry's going
Because he's got a lot of good ideals.
Yeah.
You see, a lot of good ideals.
What about Stan Hansen?
Stan Hansen, we have had good fights, me and Stan.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Dusty Rhodes.
great matches.
Yeah.
Great matches. He's a pro, Dusty.
Yeah. Carlos Colon.
Carlos Colon, we had great matches, and he was a friend once upon a time, but it's different now.
Yeah. What happened to that tower? It seemed at one point it was hot down there, and like now, you know, it's like you read about.
Yeah, but it's still hot down there. The sun's out. You see, there's nothing wrong with. Remember something. A territory is never dead. When you bring in different talent.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's the same thing like with now. They got WWF, they got NWA, right?
Yeah.
But they still got a couple local groups around here who are drawing people too. Now, if the little groups got together, they could draw more.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody wants to be, you know, kingpin.
What happened? And you might not. I don't even know if you remember this. For Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you were supposed to come in for that one big show, and you were advertised, and then.
I was booked in Japan.
Oh, okay.
At the last moment, they asked me to come to Japan, and I had to go.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the guy, when he called me, well, I called him and told him that I couldn't make it. And it was on the answering service. I said, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I got to go to Japan tomorrow. And he called me up and said, tell me I'm dreaming. I said, no, you're not dreaming, I'm telling you. So, but every place where I was supposed to be, we sold out.
Yeah.
Everything was sold out.
The guy you mentioned earlier, as far as opinions, the original Sheik.
The Sheik?
Yeah.
Well, when I started with the Sheik would never put me in Cobo Hall. Like I went to, he sent me to the other territories where it was dead.
Yeah.
And I'd go in there and I'd take it with nobody. And I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
And the Sheik would come in with Brazil and his crew, right?
Yeah.
And the thing would go down.
Yeah.
But when he put me in Cobo Hall, we go back again. I was fighting like Wahoo, not Wahoo. There was another like an Indian fella.
Not Strombos, no.
No. And it was Chief Whitehall. Yeah, Chief Whitehall. I fought him, and we tore the place down. I never seen Cobo Hall no more.
Yeah.
You know, then when the Sheik went into the hospital, he had an operation. Then I went in there and took his title. You know, started doing business there, but I didn't like holding the belt. Because when you held the belt, you had to stay in that territory. You see what I mean? So that was it.
Is that why Abdullah the Butcher didn't wrestle many title matches over his career? Because he didn't want the belt?
Well, I wrestled one of the Briscoe brothers
Okay.
for the world's title, and I beat him for it. I had the belt for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Then they switched it.
Really?
They said I used the gimmick, or something like that.
Oh, wow. Huh. A guy that's, nowadays in the 90s being some compare him to you not as far as style but just as far as his will, his brutality, the Sheik's nephew Sabu, opinion on him.
Sabu is like an acrobat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could make a lot of money with him if he fought his uncle's way. It's gonna mean a lot of money. But he's a guy who wants to do flips. And that's it. He's a good worker, but that's not my style. He said.
Were you disappointed when you actually did have your one match with him?
We had a hell of a match.
Yeah.
In Japan, we had a great fucking. Excuse me. I mean, we had a great match.
Yeah.
And then we tore the house down, and but he didn't like that style.
Yeah.
So he wants to take a chair, put it in the ring, do flips, and do this, and break tables and chairs.
You think a guy like that, how the toll on the body? I mean, how many?
His body can't last.
Yeah.
His body can't last. And another guy who I wrestled with was Cactus Jack.
Yep, he was on the list. Yeah.
Cactus Jack he's a great performer.
Yeah. Do you think the same thing with him as far as his body? Although he doesn't.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. You can't last long when you're going into chairs, jumping off balconies, and you mind if I have some of my milk?
Does the body good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, plus I was in Israel.
Okay.
I wrestled in Israel.
Oh wow. Big houses in Israel.
There was we wrestled. Thank you very much.
Yep.
We wrestled in one place. Me and Bruiser Brody were sold out 6 times.
Wow, same place.
The same. Every night me and Brody wrestled, and the people kept coming out. Then we wrestled in the food field.
He's eating his food.
He's picking at your pizza. Takes a lot of guts, especially with a fork in the room.
I'm hungry, goddammit.
Well, eat some pizza. You have to cut it up and
Yeah,
not wash your hands or
Well,
something.
put the thing on me. I'm talking here.
Yeah, wash your hands or something.
You order something that I can't eat here. Look at this. Made for a butcher. Look at this. Knows how to cut it up just right here. I mean, please. Plus, I have colitis, so I can't have all this shit on it. So. And now you turn
What are you guys paying him?
it.
Too much.
Stop picking in the food. Go ahead.
A question that just popped into my mind, with all the different wrestling you did over the years internationally, as far as Israel and all the different places you did, was there ever I'm sure there must have been the threat of terrorism,
Beirut.
Beirut.
Never forget it. I went to Beirut. I had to sneak out.
Really?
And the first time I ever seen planes, Jewish planes, Jewish planes, I was sitting on the thing, sitting by the beach, and all of a sudden I heard pop, 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 pop. And I said, what is that? And they said, some of the planes would sneak over and like that. Yeah. First time.
Wow.
And I didn't get paid. I had to sneak out.
Oh, wow. Did anything happen during the show, like inside the building?
Well, there was people. They were, like, in which way are you talking about?
Like any like gunfire or anything inside the building in Beirut?
No.
It's just all the planes and everything.
Well, like I seen, I take that back. There's one plane, at nighttime, I didn't see the plane, but they were firing at something and they said it was a plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was it.
Okay. I guess all things considered, you got lucky considering all the traveling you've done over the years and with all the terrorism that's out there, some of its peak, way back when.
Well, the first time when I went to Israel, I laid my bag down. I never seen soldiers come so fast. And they had some kind of a machine.
Right.
And I went to pick the bag up. They said, "Don't ever leave that bag. Always carry your bag with you."
Wow.
That's what I've seen a lot of, over there.
Yeah.
And then the other countries, where they have that. Arabs and shit. They had a lot of military people. You know, that was it.
Yeah. A guy that's very powerful in the business, the guy that you've wrestled, Hulk Hogan. Opinion on him?
Hogan. I wrestled Hogan in Japan 10 times, and we had great matches. He was going to bring me in, him and Barnett into New York.
Really?
Something happened.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Headhunters.
The Headhunters, which ones?
The new ones. Victor
The new
Funes
ones?
guys.
Victor's headhunters.
Well, let's put it this here way. There's only one Abdullah the Butcher.
Exactly.
People who, other people try to make another Abdullah the Butcher or two Abdullah the Butchers, but when Vince brought him into New York and called them the Butchers, the people thought it was Abdullah the Butcher coming in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's only one Butcher. You see what I mean? My style. They don't know my style.
Yeah.
Anybody can fly. Anybody can, but they're young boys and they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
See? So that's it.
Wow. I don't know if you've ever wrestled him, but another powerful mainstay in the business, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. I fought Ric Flair before he was champion.
Okay.
I fought him in Amarillo.
Wow.
Good match, but Flair didn't want Flair never did ever mention about working with me for the titles or matches.
Yeah. Wow. A guy that some people some people actually call him Abby Jr. Guy that wrestles for ECW, New Jack.
Well, New Jack came to me one time and he got my tapes, my wrestling tapes, and everything would see him do.
Yeah.
My stuff. But what he does by diving off a rooftop or a balcony, that's not me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if I ever dived off off a balcony, I don't think I'd even get up.
Another guy, in the United States, maybe not so much in Abby Jr., but has the same kind of reputation that you had in your day. Another ECW wrestler, Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer.
Have you ever seen him for ECW? They call him the innovator of violence because he does a lot of the brawling and a lot of the hardcore.
Is that the guy who drinks the beer?
That's
That's
Sandman.
Sandman. Well, the Sandman, to me, he's got a hell of a gimmick. I like him.
You like
I
him?
like him. But Dream, which one's the Dream?
He's
Goatee.
We worked WAR, same show you worked Fujiwara this summer. Did a 6-man.
He's good.
yeah.
His stuff's good.
Yeah. Obvious person I gotta throw into the mix here, Vince McMahon Jr.
Vince McMahon Jr.?
Yeah.
The truth, I've never talked to the man.
Really?
And one day I was talking to Hogan in Japan. Vince came, and I told Hogan, I said, yeah, I left.
Yeah.
I talked to the old man, you know what I mean, who was, in my opinion, was a gentleman. But I've never talked to the kid.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Mr. Pogo. You recently wrestled him.
I wrestled Pogo. He's another one. He uses gimmicks, it's unbelievable. He uses
He's got a drill.
axes, drills. He uses everything.
Yeah.
And when the people look at it, they should be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim Crockett Jr.
Crockett, I worked for Crockett. Same thing goes back.
Yeah.
They'd bring me in there. I'd bring the territory up. I'd be gone again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Another guy who was good, who was a machine, that was Bob McDaniels.
Really?
Ernie Ladd. I worked with Ernie Ladd many times. He was a good,
Yeah.
Rufus R. Jones.
Right.
Zambui Express.
Simboy Express.
Kareem Muhammad and Leroy Brown.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Leroy Brown was a friend.
Okay. Yeah.
And Ray Candy, I used to send him all over. See,
Really.
I sent a lot of people all over Japan, a lot of places. I seen a lot of boys.
The guy that we talked about earlier, Onito. Opinion on Onito.
Well, on Onita, I got to give him credit because he left Baba's office, started his own company. He done well.
Yeah.
So when you look at a man who's doing good, you can't knock him.
Right.
So whatever he does, if he doesn't use me, but I'm not going to knock him and say, well, he's no good because he don't use Abdullah the Butcher.
Right.
You know what I mean? You look at his business where he's drawing 1,000, 2,000 people, the place is packed.
Yeah.
So you got to give him credit.
Did you think when he started FMW, did you think a promotion like that built on on the gimmicks and the barbed wire could survive?
Yes,
Yeah.
I knew it would go.
Really?
Because the Japanese people have never seen cage matches, they've never seen the explosions, they've never seen, I mean, it was something different. It was something new.
Yeah.
See what I mean? And then they had everybody on the card. Everybody was doing this: chain matches, barbed wire matches, fire. You know what I mean? I've been around a long time. I went to Mexico and I've seen, fire matches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've never seen them in Japan.
Right.
But Japan took them and made. It seemed like you were like in the war or something.
Yeah.
And then one time the Sheik, something happened in the ring, like with a fire.
Him and Sabu were
Backward, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole ring caught fire. They put too much.
I mean, they're lucky that that they got out alive.
Yeah.
Because that smoke, the fumes would have, could have got them just like this.
She got burned his whole back.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
out for a year almost.
Yeah. It's dangerous when you even see the tape of that.
Yeah, but when you have matches like that, if a guy would die, what would happen?
Everybody would want to see it again. Everybody would want to see it again quick.
Repeat.
Yeah. And I guess
See, the world is violent. The world loves what?
violence.
Violence. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Do you think working for so long and working with Baba, do you think seeing not even Inoki, but New Japan, seeing them change with the times as far as them get more into gimmicks with bringing the NWO over there and doing more with the gimmickry, and Baba staying away from that, and do you think that's going to hurt Baba in the long run or help Baba in the long run?
You see, Baba is Baba's one of the sharpest promoters in the world. When I say sharp, when other people are saying, well, let's do this, let's do that, Baba sets back.
Yeah.
And he's still going strong. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like New Japan. At first, New Japan was down for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's when you walk into a building and you throw a show and you're drawing $800,000 or more, and then you're selling magazines. What used to be 25 cents, now they're selling them for $10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're selling them like crazy. So it's got to be. And Bob is 60 years old.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to go in the big ballpark.
Yeah, they're getting ready to do their first Dome show.
Dome show.
Yeah, their first Dome show.
But see, for the first $1 million house was whatever drawn was with me, Baba, Inoki, tag team partners, and me and Tiger Singh.
Really?
We started it.
Wow.
You see what I mean? Showing the world that if you joined with other men,
Yeah.
you could draw the biggest things of history. You see?
Wow. What about Tiger Singh? There's another guy, another name.
Tiger Singh, no comment.
Okay. A guy that I think that maybe you had some of his best matches were with you, the late Andre the Giant.
I had good matches with Andre.
Yeah.
Very good matches.
Yeah. What are any memories you have of when you did that WCW run? You were teaming with Norman the Lunatic. You were.
When I was with WCW,
Yeah.
I had no choice.
Okay.
I had to go with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you play their game. One time a guy said to me, Abdullah, when this guy is acting, doing his little gimmick, we want you to dance. And I looked at him and I says, you want who to dance? You're going to dance or you want me to dance? He said, no, you dance to be good. I said, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I said,
What was there was something that's a lot of people know about Halloween Havoc. There was a lawsuit with you and WCW over the
Yes.
video.
Yes.
What was that all about?
well, number one, it goes back that they needed something, right?
Yeah.
Who could they bring in? Abdullah the Butcher, right? I was never under contract with WCW. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody else was under contract. They made tapes of me, and they sold the tapes, where they had no right to sell my tapes.
Right.
See what I mean? Plus, I don't know if my lawyer is selling me out or whatever, but everybody else been paid
Yeah.
who have took that company to court.
Yeah.
They've been paid, and hasn't been paid yet
Still to this day.
to this day.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
And I call my lawyer up, and he doesn't answer me back. So when I get back, I got to go see him.
I don't want to be in his shoes. Do you think that burnt the bridge with WCW?
No, because you want to cut that camera off for a minute?
Good.
Okay. If you were, and I don't know if you are even planning to go back to Japan in the very near future, who would you prefer to work for?
Anybody who pays. That's the key.
Yeah. Are you planning to go back in the near
I'm
future?
going back.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can talk about right now, or?
Well, I'm supposed to go back in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who are you gonna? What company?
For war.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. I know this could be a short, or this could be a 3-hour answer, but the difference in the difference in professional wrestling, business wise or ring wise, in the 70s, into the 80s to the 90s, it seems every decade it changes.
Yeah.
I mean, just your thoughts on that, the differences.
Well, let's put it this way. They took wrestling today, and you have what in it? You got
Entertainment.
movie stars.
Yeah.
You got boxers. You got jockeys. You got singers. You got,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People. It was like what's that singer's name? I can't pronounce his name. Like he used to play on the piano. He died, Little
Liberace?
Right.
Yeah.
Now there's a man like this man and Little Richard.
Yeah.
They were what? They were showmen,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Now here's a man like Little Richard used to run around with a flag and this and that,
Yeah.
and people love to see him.
Right.
See what I mean? The same thing. If you can go to a wrestling match and see Muhammad Ali,
Right.
see Tina Turner at a wrestling match, you're gonna say, "Damn, we might not ever see these people like this."
Right.
There they go. It's a show business.
Yeah.
Everything is entertainment. People want to be entertained.
Yeah.
People who might have problems at home, or problems on their jobs, or problems wherever, when they go to a wrestling match, they can do what? They can scream and let everything out.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the key. It's like when you go to a movie. When you go to a movie, you want to sit down and relax.
Right.
Watch a movie an hour and a half or whatever, but you're relaxed.
Yeah.
Nobody's bothering you. You see what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like the people who go to a wrestling match. You got all kinds. You see what I mean? People want violence. People want this. People want that. That's it.
Wow. What it seems, and we talked a little bit about this before, that the hardcore style is going, I guess you could say, mainstream these days. It seems you can't turn on a wrestling TV show without seeing the chairs and sometimes tables and whatnot. Do you think that's good or that's bad?
But see, the people, you got great wrestlers. Guys who go there and grab a hold and do this. But people don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They want to see what?
The chairs and the tables.
They want to see violence.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's the same thing like when you see a woman and she's got no makeup on, but she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
right? And she's got on a ordinary dress. The first thing you say, oh. Like you see somebody else walk around with tight this on, tight that, and you say, oh, well, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is shown.
Yeah. Wow. You think that's good for wrestling?
What's that?
So much of it?
It'll go to a peak and
Yeah.
would die out. Everything. Remember something. Everything fades out.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you keep your clothes, keep it for 10 years, it all comes back. It
Yeah.
goes around, it comes back.
It's
See what
true.
I mean?
It's true. What they were, maybe you can expand on it, but have you achieved all your goals that you set when you became a professional wrestler?
I'm happy. This business, this world don't owe me nothing.
Yeah.
If I left here today or tomorrow, I can sit down and say, I lived. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I lived a good life. I did not swerve nobody, or a lot of people swerve me though, but I'm not going to say you sitting in this room.
I'll put that camera on me.
Is there anything that you haven't achieved yet that you want?
New York,
Yeah.
Madison Square Gardens.
Yeah.
That's one place I like to hit. Even if I stepped in the ring, even if I had one match,
Yeah.
because I've been every other place, but I've never been in Madison Square Gardens.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so
You were actually in ECW when it first started, when Eddie Gilbert was the booker at the
Right.
time. Would you ever go back to ECW?
well, they asked me to come back for, but we go back to the same thing again. I'm an outlaw. They can't control. You see, companies like to control.
Yeah.
They like to throw you a bone and see you crawl for it. See what I
Yeah.
mean? And I've never done that. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's an old saying, if you don't keep your pride or your respect, you're a piece of shit. That's what the promoters think of a lot of the wrestlers. So
Would Abdullah the Butcher ever be in a barbed wire match?
I was in many barbed wire matches a long time ago, but I hate them.
Do you?
I hate barbed wire matches.
Wow.
One mistake, you could lose your eye, you could lose, Plus, that wire is very dangerous.
Yeah.
If somebody threw you in it, you could be infected, because that wire's not clean.
Right. Did you ever worry about that over the years with all the bloody matches that you've been involved with?
I've always took care of myself.
Yeah.
I've always made sure that my head was clean, alcohol, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always took care of it.
Yeah.
Antibiotics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the main thing, when you lose a lot of blood, you have to drink a nice glass of wine, and you come back to the shower and let the shower clean up that system. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
Wow. A lot of promoters, and you even expanded on it several times calling you an outlaw, a lot of promoters say Abdullah the Butcher is difficult.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't control me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, it's like Hogan. I mean, Hogan is powerful. You see, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so if Hogan jumps up and says, goodbye, New York, take him back there tomorrow.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you hear a promoter say, I'll never use that son of a bitch, that means they're going to use you.
Yeah.
So, and they have said it many times. I'll never use that Abdullah the Butcher, blah, 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 blah. If I didn't like something, goodbye.
Yeah. Would you ever retire from professional wrestling?
Tell you the truth, I'll probably die in the ring.
Really?
I'll probably die in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've said that to my wife, my mother, and then they said, when are you going to quit? I says, Ma, I'll probably die in the ring. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems funny, strange, but you never know. Because I love this business. See?
Wow.
I don't want you to start crying, take it easy.
If you were to die in the ring, would you be happy dying in the ring?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Has
I mean, not where somebody's going to cover me 1, 2, 3.
You'll still kick out. There's been a lot of conflict over the years with guys just saying you come into the territory and you're scheduled to face an opponent, or even these days, and they just say, the guy that's supposed to wrestle say, I'm not wrestling Abdullah the Butcher.
Never.
Really?
Never. The guys who I used to wrestle on TV, the first thing when they came in, they'd run to the wall. And they'd say, oh, I'm glad I don't have him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But the top guys, they love to work with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you, I guess there's no way to sugarcoat the question. Are you tough on young guys when you're in there with a young guy?
No.
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 Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to make a living.
Yeah.
I don't stop nobody from making a living.
Yeah.
Because if you stop somebody, maybe they're trying to feed their family, maybe they're trying to feed their mother, maybe they're trying to feed. No, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I say, I don't have time for it.
Wow. Being in the business 30 some odd years now, what is that toll taking on your body?
My body, well, since that I'm not in the wrestling business that much, my joints sometimes are a little sore.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the ring, it's just like, because I'm used to going.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess when you condition yourself after so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like there was a promoter who booked me here. Son of a bitch, give me the earliest flight that he could get me, and I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I'm about an hour away from the airport, right?
Yeah.
Not my fault.
I don't want to mention no names, but he's in the room.
The promotion booked it, not me.
And then when he got me here, we didn't do nothing, but went to a restaurant and killed time.
Speaking of restaurants, you want to talk about how you got involved with yours
Pardon?
in Georgia? How that all came about?
You recently had an article written on you, I understand, too. Yeah.
A lot of people say, why do you open up a Chinese restaurant? Not the Little Butcher's House of Ribs. I'm different. You see, my mind's always thinking, my wife's mind's always thinking about how to do this different.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Why are you guys in here with the video? You see, instead of a wrestler, you understand what I mean? It's like these here, signing, right?
Yeah, autograph sign.
A wrestler should have that business.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
But they do not think. You see what I mean? Somebody else has got to come in and
Right.
take it over. It's like, the kayfabe sheet, right?
Insider wrestling.
The same thing. See what I mean? It was an outsider.
Yeah.
See what I mean? The only thing what wrestlers know how to do is go in there and do their stuff, but they don't think about
Business.
business on the side. They
Yeah.
don't think about it, see?
Yeah.
And that's why, it's like I tell a lot of the wrestlers, hey, you're in the wrestling business, but you got to think about other businesses.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when this is finished, I mean, there will not be a lot of guys around like me, for these many years. See what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Have you ever had a major injury that has kept you out for a long period of time?
I pretty much died 10 years ago, but not from the wrestling business. I had a bleeding ulcer,
Ooh.
and I was at home, and I took a bump. If it wasn't for my wife grabbing my legs, picking my legs up, where the blood can go to my brain,
Yeah.
I'd have been dead.
Really?
I'm split from here all the way up to here.
Are you really?
Yeah, now if you want to see that, it's an extra.
We'll pass. Do you want to wrestle again for a national promotion in the United States?
In which way? When you?
As far as television is huge now. As far as wrestling in the United States, they have 5 million people tuning in every Monday night to watch
Right.
wrestling. You want to get back into that? As far as do you want to be be seen by those 5 million people, or are you happy just doing what you're doing?
Well, I would love to go back on the TV.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's like when you look at all the movie stars.
Yeah.
You know, they get old, but as long as that their face looks good,
Yeah.
you know, they can still make movies.
Right.
So they start fading away, what happens?
The movies.
You see, you got to realize the new generation, the younger generation, they know Abdullah the Butcher, the hardcore, the this and that, right?
Yeah.
But if I cannot produce, they don't want to see me.
Right.
They say, oh, he's too old. But as long as I can keep producing, and they said in Japan, Abdullah the Butcher had never changed his style and he still goes.
Yeah.
Now, if I was looking old, they'd say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all over.
Even tonight, you tore the house down tonight. Everybody was.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
See, anytime that you have a main event or whatever you have, I'm going to go in there and try to overpower it. Or if I don't try to overpower it, see, anytime I walked into a territory, I would say, in so many weeks, I would be there.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to think. When you're a top man or you're on the bottom, you got to say, I want to be there. You see?
Yeah. It's amazing with the longevity in the business. You still, the minute you walk through the curtain tonight, the house went nuts to play. It's like, you know, even young fans that, you know, maybe hadn't seen you on TV in 5 years, you know, in the United States, they still went nuts. I mean,
But
it's amazing.
See, the people still remember me. The mothers and fathers say, Abdullah the Butcher, they tell their kids,
Yeah.
how old are you?
25.
You're 25 years old.
Yeah.
So figure, who told you about Abdullah the Butcher?
I remember reading about you in wrestling magazines before.
See, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny that you brought that up because my next question I was getting into is the three of us here, you know, we've seen matches, you know, we're 25, all of us here,
Right.
25, 26, and we've been fans since we were 8 or 9 years old.
Right.
And there's one match that we still talk about all these years, and that was you against Bruiser Brody in Wildwood, New Jersey on an independent show several years ago. The reason we talk about it is because at the time, all you saw was wrestling in the ring,
Right.
and it was the first time we've ever seen anybody tear a building up,
Right.
use broomsticks, go in the bathroom, just use the chairs. And all the guys, the new guys in the ECW and everybody, we say, you know, you're not going to believe 10 years ago we saw this or whatever it
Right.
was. You know, I mean, all your matches with Bruiser Brody were classic, you know, in our opinion. What are your memories of the Bruiser Brody feud and your matches with Bruiser Brody?
He was a pro.
Yeah.
When I say a pro, he knew how to produce, but he learned his style from King Curtis. Him and King Curtis was good friends. See, Curtis started all that, hush, hush. It was King Curtis who used to walk the chairs. It was King Curtis who used to take the chairs, throw them up in the air. It was King Curtis.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, a lot of people don't remember King Curtis, but King Curtis was the one who done a lot of it.
Yeah.
When you stab King Curtis, he could walk the chairs.
Yeah.
He'd fall over the top of the chairs. You know what I mean? Like he was dead. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of guys in this business who are pros. You know what I mean? But a lot of people never heard about them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. But no, it's a match we still talk about to this day. You know, we were talking about the 5 million people that watch wrestling every Monday night. Are you one of those 5 million people? You watch the Monday show? No.
no. I might turn it on and turn it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a promoter would sit down and ask the guy who's on the desk, you know, who's the announcer, who's sitting there, you know, and say, what are the people saying? Because the first thing, one guy throws a lariat.
Yeah.
The next guy comes out, he throws a lariat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything is the same. And one time Jim Barnett asked me, he says, Abdullah, what's wrong? I said, everybody's doing the same thing. I said, why don't you ask the guy who's sitting at the desk? Who's there for the whole 3 hours or whatever? He said, well, I never thought of that.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, how many gimmick matches can you have?
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, it's like tonight, like when they said, like, you know, the nun.
Yeah.
When the people said get the nun, I did not even see the nun
Yeah.
until he got scared and started backing up.
Yeah.
Then I followed through with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You scared the shit out of him, by the way. Afterwards. It's funny too. Not that this is even a question or anything. We were in Japan and we went over for some of the FMW shows, and Leatherface over there. His whole thing is how he chases the people, through the crowd with the saw. And we said, why don't you ever come to the United States and do that? And
Well, they kill him.
he said nobody would move.
They would move.
But the thing is, when Abdullah the Butcher goes to the crowd, they move. It's wild when you think about it. That
Because see, people fear me.
yeah,
They say he is crazy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? After people see me do so many things, you know what I mean? Who's going to eat raw liver? Who's going to eat raw chickens? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And the people, he's crazy.
yeah.
And then I can look at you and stare at you, and I'm going to freak you out anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. How did you come up with that? Or it was just natural.
What's that?
Your eyes, your look, just being able to scare.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear. It's the same thing. It could be somebody who could be big,
Yeah.
right? And if you just look at him and
Yeah.
if you look at a woman or you look at somebody's eye and you keep staring at them,
Yeah.
they start doing what? They start going,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
A person who lies, he can't stare at you. He's got to do what?
Look away.
Because he's lying. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Wow. A match that happened a couple years ago with Boo Bradley, a fire match that.
Oh.
What happened with that?
That match, I went to the hospital for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Where they had to clean it. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Money. I need money to show my body.
Wow. All right. Well, apparently we're not going to see the scar. Apparently we're not going to see the scar.
You got the burn
Yeah.
from here all the way to there. You
Yeah.
got the scar.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well,
Wow.
think about it.
I'll think about
Think about it. Go ahead.
Wow. But what went wrong with that match?
The kid was nervous.
Yeah.
The doctor said when they got me, when it hit here, if I wouldn't have turned my head, I've been blind today. And I swore no son of a bitch would ever, excuse my language, would ever throw fire on me again.
Wow.
Because if I'd have kept my eyes like this, everything would have been burnt. Right? Everything would have been burnt.
Wow.
That's the first time I've ever went to a hospital. I mean, I've been to hospitals to be sewn up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the wrestling tape where they were sewing me up.
Yes.
Puerto Rico.
Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
But I'm lucky to walk away from that.
Really, it was that bad, huh?
It was bad.
Wow.
And when the people smelt the flesh, when they smelt that flesh, and all of a sudden this whole thing was pink.
Yeah.
It was pink that people were saying, oh. See what I mean? Oh, yeah.
Wow. Any questions you guys have to add? You guys want to add?
Jerry Lawler fan.
Was there any you had a match with Jerry Lawler a couple years ago.
Beating prisoner to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Beating prisoner to death.
Did you just not like the guy, or?
Well, see, I'm not used to people talking to the people. I'm going to do this and do that.
Yeah.
And when you get in the ring, you don't do nothing. You see what I mean?
Right.
Well, were you guys there?
We've seen tapes of it. We just recently, actually.
I
Yeah.
slaughtered them.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And then I threw them outside the ring and fought somebody else.
Yeah, Boo Bradley.
Boo Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boo Bradley. Set up for the fire match,
Yeah, for the
actually.
next one, yeah.
Yeah, but
a sharp show.
right,
Yeah.
Now they must have.
Yeah.
right. That's why I asked, because that match, you just beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
You know.
But he's the king.
Not after that match. Wow. Well, there's nothing else I have to add, other than the fact that, we wish you tons of prosperity and longevity and, hopefully another 30 years, in the wrestling business. I mean, you've scared us many times and, given us just as many thrills. And, we thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, you help make the three of us wrestling fans.
Well, I'll tell you, every time when I sit down at a table, I go into a restaurant and I'm eating, the people always say, sir, would you please leave the forks?
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Well, definitely want to thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much. And good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Everything okay?
Very good.
Like it. Well,
Wait a minute. I'm very tired of these cheap people who's trying to make money from Abdullah the Butcher by making my T-shirts, by making my videotapes, out there selling them. If I ever catch you, I'll take this damn fork and I'll stab it into your head, your face, into your ass, into your body. Don't be selling my merchandise unless you're paying me for it.
And that goes for the shoot interview, isn't that correct?
Pardon?
That goes for this interview too.
This
correct?
interview too.
Thank you.
And my good friend is George.
Napolitano?
Yeah, Napolitano. I've been knowing him for 28 years. I've been knowing his wife and his 2 boys. Thank you.
Now we're gonna take a look at the burn. This is the burn in the match with Boo Bradley. Unbelievable. Wow.
And this is a split. And I want to show you my.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
Now, how much more you say for this?
50.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there's a
my goodness.
notorious rumor you could stick a coin in there.
I'll let you put the coin.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it here.
Don't
Please.
untangle that. No, the.
No, okay, I'll come on to the other side.
Yeah.
All right, which
The big one right here.
center one here?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What are you doing?
You're shitting. You nearly shit in your pants when he grabbed you there. That's
Parts of us. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.